restarted the... Oh, hey, Heat.
What's
Thank
up?
God. I don't know what's happening. Can you hear me here?
Yeah, I can hear you,
Okay,
but
great.
you're going through Discord
Well, yeah,
because
because
it's not just Twitch, it's the other one, right?
No, it's just Twitch. I jumped into here just in case somebody would see me and hop in and help me figure out what was going on.
Your microphone doesn't seem to be the culprit because you're wearing it now and you can hear me.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking it's something to actually do with Twitch.
Well, Chippy just said there, echo from big room, but easy to deal with. Okay, it's fixed. Thank God.
It is fixed.
That was so weird. Okay, Chippy
I
called
know
it
you're.
though. Restarting the thing that fixed it.
It must be the software or something.
It's working now. And
Good.
whatever demon had...
You're like, Dad, gummit.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna
Callie
step
King, do you
out.
want to go back to your thing now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come watch you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. That was silly. That was very silly. Okay, so the room is echoey. Eventually we're gonna get rugs. Right now we have, like, there's no carpet. I take that back. The closet next to the front door has carpet. That's it. Oh. So yeah, let's play a video game. So what I was saying at the beginning of this, before I realized I was muted and everything, I've been thinking about some things lately that I'd like to talk to you guys about as well. But first, yeah, Kai, it has been some time. I changed my name, but it's Kai Guy. Yes, I do remember. Just inside the closet carpet, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna try to plug in my second. Can you guys still hear me? Before I continue. Great! Because I really wanted to have 2 monitors up. So I can see chat a little more easily. There we go. Awesome. Keep an eye on the Discord over there in the corner. Perfect. Okay, so what I've been thinking about lately. I've been streaming for a few years, and I've noticed other streamers typically find some kind of niche, and those are the ones that I find most interesting to watch, me personally. And over the years, I've learned that sometimes the best content out there is stuff that's made by people, like they decide to make what they themselves would want to watch or what they find interesting. And something I found really interesting is listening to people talk about their professions and talk about a lot of information and just sharing knowledge, especially for more nuanced fields where not a lot of stuff is known about what they do. Yes, moving is done. So I thought, well, what's stopping me from talking about what I do for a living? Because while I've seen videos made by chiropractors and personal trainers and scam baiters and people who do coding and website design, and I mean, there's a masterclass for pretty much everything out there. But one of the things I don't see talked about very often is massage therapy, and specifically medical or orthopedic, also called manual massage therapy, which is what I do for a living. And some of you know that I'm a massage therapist at this point. For those of you who've been around for a very long time, every once in a while I mention that. Hey, Diamond. But I just kind of mention it off and on here and there. But I find it really interesting, and it's something that I like to talk about. So while I intend to continue making videos, like just playing video games and hanging out and being super chill. Yeah, Night. You're a massage therapist. That's me. But yeah, I thought, well, wouldn't it be kind of nice if I could be a channel that was also like, I am a massage therapist, ask me anything kind of thing. Game seems slightly over me? Okay, I don't doubt it. The music is very, very epic in this game. But I've been thinking about ways to make the kind of stuff that I want to make, that I'm going to be interested in making. And that's going to be massage therapy. I've learned different things over the years, like self-care techniques. Not that I would substitute any kind of actual medical advice, but depending on where things go from here, I just decided, well, how about I just start talking more about what I do. I hope that's better with the game volume. It should be anyway. So when I say medical massage, I'll just start there, because I can say like, oh, I'm a medical massage therapist, ask me anything. But when I was telling a friend about what I wanted to do, he said, well, I'm very curious about what you do, but I don't even know what to ask. And so I've said, oh, well, that kind of makes sense. You know, you might meet an astrophysicist and you'd be like, oh, I would love to pick your brain, but I don't even know what it's just not that it's so complicated or so, you know, but it's just, you don't meet an astrophysicist every day, you don't meet a massage therapist every day, which is changing. But you know, I'm not talking about the kind of massage that you'll get at Massage Envy, at least most of them. I can't speak for every therapist that works at a Massage Envy. But it's a lot less common to see people that focus on orthopedic therapy. They will do deep tissue, they do Swedish, some of them will do hot stones and prenatal massage, sports massage, but it's, you know, sometimes the sports massage ends up being a lot of stretching and some deep tissue work. Maybe they'll pull out a vibration massage tool like a Hypervolt or Theragun. But they don't do assessment, and that's what makes what I do different. Medical massage just means it's prescribed by a physician. If someone's had surgery, for example, they'll be prescribed lymphatic drainage, let's say, and the doctor would say, you know, lymphatic drainage twice a week for 3 months, and that's a prescription, and I can fill that prescription. Really, any therapist can fill a prescription, technically, but the question is, depending on what the patient needs, the therapist may or may not be able to perform that technique. Not everybody does lymphatic drainage. So my field is very unique in that it's not just I'm really stressed out and I'm on a massage to relax. It's, I have pain, you know, I have bulging discs, I have carpal tunnel, I have frozen shoulder, I have TMJ, I mean, all different kinds of terrible things that plague people, sometimes for many years, migraines and headaches, chronic like swelling and lupus, or what's another one? Lymphedema. I see those kinds of patients very frequently. Yes, exactly, Knight. So I thought, I wonder how many people are aware that it's an option available to them for a pain management option, where if you are more hesitant to take muscle relaxers, or if the muscle relaxers aren't working for you, if certain prescription medications aren't working for you, or you're trying to wean yourself away from prescription medications, it's potentially an option. It's something that you could talk to your doctor about. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be prescribed. You can self-appoint to a massage therapist that specializes in orthopedic or manual massage. The trick is finding one that's not only near you, but finding one that is going to take care of you properly. I'm on my way to Texas. Absolutely, Heat. I'd love to have you. Actually, one of my clients that has started coming to me in the last, 6 months or so, kind of reminds me of you in a few different ways, but all in good ways. But I vicariously imagine, like, man, one day this could be Heat thing, and I could be, working on him and helping him with back pain and neck pain and all those things, helping you, relax and engage what they call the parasympathetic nervous system. So a little note on that. I'll just kind of ramble for a while. I'm keeping an eye on chat, so if you've got questions about something I say, feel free to ask, and I'll just double back. Back is screwed in the left arm, yeah. So, for example, one thing I might ask a client, or if you go to a massage therapist and you're not sure, like, well, what do I look for? How do I know if I've got somebody that's quote-unquote good? Everybody wants a good therapist, and it's very subjective. There's a lot to it. It's not just how is their touch, how do they speak with you? How do you feel around them? Like, do you feel safe, for example? Or, if you feel confident in what they do, or if you feel nervous around them, like, it's important for those kinds of things. But not only that, but also their knowledge, and do they understand their own boundaries, their own scope of practice? Because someone who has not been formally trained in lymphatic drainage, for example, shouldn't give you a lymphatic drainage massage. They might say, oh, I've read up on the topic and I've seen like a bunch of different YouTube videos, and I've been a massage therapist for 10 years, so I'm just gonna do this technique and it's gonna help you so much. And it's like, well, wait a minute, if you haven't taken the class, maybe I should find somebody who has taken the course how to do that. But anyway, my massage therapist got into a car accident. Oh no, yeah. Oh no. But one way that you can tell apart, like, okay, is this going to be a good fit for me? That's what I'll call it, because I don't want to sling mud at people. I don't want to insinuate that someone who doesn't do these things is a bad therapist. But if you're looking for someone who does orthopedic and manual therapy, here are the things that I would look for example. So one thing that I would look for is that they're going to ask me a lot of questions. Actually, they're going to ask me about my health history. The health history is going to have a lot of information on it. It will ask you if you've ever had a history of stroke, or if you cancer, or herniated or bulging discs, or other, we call them like comorbidities, but other things that are part of you as a person that factor into what we would do in a treatment. For example, if someone came in and they listed that they were on prescription blood thinners, I can't use cupping tools on them. And cups are just like little silicone things. They stick to the skin and they help to loosen really stiff and tight areas of soft tissue. But if someone's on blood thinners, I shouldn't use that. So someone who's probably doing more assessment to understand you as an individual and what's going to help you the most in that moment is going to ask you for a lot of information. And stuff that may seem irrelevant. For example, one time I was working on somebody and I noticed that their hips were off a certain way. When I say off, I just mean that things weren't level. When they lay down on the table, sometimes one hip is higher than the other, or it's kind of like rotated in, or the hips can do all kinds of things. It's a very mobile joint. I mean, it's designed to be mobile so that we can walk easily. That's how we dance, so they can get out of alignment, as it were, fairly easily, and it's very common. But I noticed that her hips tended to always be a certain way, and I knew that she is a teacher, has taught for many, many years. And what do teachers do? At least this she particularly is teaching, I think it was at grade school or high school, but you know, she's there, she's sitting at a desk, she's grading papers. And I don't know about you, but I often tend to cross my legs when I'm sitting for long periods. It tends to be more comfortable for me because I have hypermobile joints. Hypermobile just means I'm a little more flexible than I should be, so my joints are less stable than someone else's. So she ticked quite a few of these boxes, and so I said, well, you know, I'm wondering, do you have a tendency to always cross, I think I said your right leg over your left or left over the right, but I just, based off of what I saw and what I consistently assessed in her posture and what her the bony landmarks and things like that, I just became suspicious. Like, oh, you know, it seems like you tend to cross this leg particularly over the other one. And she kind of made this face like, oh my gosh, you're right, I do. And so that's something else, is someone that can. And I don't do that all the time. Okay, that was. I'm still developing that skill of being able to assess, you know, based off of the common pattern that I see and based off of what someone does for a living, having some guess as to what really common posture pattern they might be doing to perpetuate things staying out of alignment. So that's always been something really interesting to me, and why I got into medical massage in the first place. I would see people come in for a massage, and I would notice that they were kind of slouched over, some stood up straight, or some had a limp. And I just remember looking at that and wondering, well, if I'm working on the muscles and they're all kind of coming in different ways and kind of crooked, isn't there more I could be doing besides just giving them a full body Swedish or deep tissue massage and, you know, saying thank you very much, we'll see you next time? Like, it felt hollow, for me anyway, because I was more interested in helping them get better posture so that maybe they would have less pain, maybe they wouldn't limp anymore, those sorts of things. So, you know, that's where my journey started. But that's why I will always say, if you have a specific issue like shoulder pain or TMJ or back pain, knee pain, foot pain, whatever, I don't care. But if you've got some kind of pain and you're curious about manual or orthopedic massage therapy, but you're like, well, I don't even know where to start to look for a good one. Besides searching those words on Google, you know, medical massage therapist, you know, near me, or orthopedic massage therapist near me, whenever you're talking to this massage therapist for the first time, they're going to get a lot of information. They're going to want to know like what you generally do for a living or what your usual week looks like. They'll want to talk to you, and then while they're working on you, they're going to be doing assessment. So they'll look at how the hips are, you know, if one's flared out from the other, and then their treatment is going to be based off of what they assessed. So, for example, a really common pattern that I see is where the shoulders round forward like this. So someone comes to me and they say, I have neck pain, I have upper back pain, this region right here, that kind of where the dowager's hump would form, as it were, which is not genetic, by the way. That's recently been debunked by science, is you can't blame your mom or your grandma for dowager's hump anymore. It's your poor posture. But that all aside, the reason that we get that poor posture is we do a lot of work in the front. We're front leaning, we're rounding the shoulders forward, we're working at the computer like this, and so these muscles in the front and the chest, the pec major, pec minor, they get short and tight because they hold this all day long or for long periods of time. And it may not necessarily be at a computer, but anything where you're kind of leaned in, hunched over, mothers who are breastfeeding, and then on top of it, not only are they rounded forward, but then they're looking to one side for an extended period of time, frequently. It builds up stress over time. You know, you've got to be aware of, it's not that you wouldn't do that, you know, because a mother who's breastfeeding is probably not going to stop if they don't really have to. But what they can learn other things that can help them relax this muscle when they need to, so they can continue to breastfeed but do so safely without developing trigger points and pain. Oh hey Red Phoenix, how you doing? Or you enjoy your lurk, sorry. Oh, you're lurking, let me ask you a question. But it's been lost my train of thought. It's been really interesting to learn how to read the body to understand what it probably needs. So I think I'm good on my ramble for there. That's just kind of a little glimpse into what, you know, kinds of things I might talk about in the future in other streams. Now we can coin the term T-Rexing. That's the VIN I get from your example of working. Yes, T-Rexing. Exactly. But yeah, so my plan is, because I've been thinking about it, and I thought, well, maybe I should talk more about this, and I should have like a Ask a Massage Therapist type of thing. And then I'm gonna start uploading streams to YouTube regularly, and my stream time is going to be shorter, a lot shorter. So right now I'm looking at streaming on Tuesdays and Fridays from 7 to 8:30, and I'm still working on updating the schedule online. I haven't like shared the link to the calendar yet, but I've started putting at least like the time slots on there. We're still unpacking into the apartment as well, but I realized that trying to do a stream that would last for, 6 or 7 hours is just... It would sound like a good idea at the time, but then I would get in, 2 to 3 hours into the stream and just feel so wiped out. And I thought, I personally have actually enjoyed the streams that don't last all day, because I'm really busy. I've got a lot going on, and as much as I would love to be able to see the stream from start to finish, it's just not feasible. And then there's VODs, but it's just not the same, man. It's just not the same. So, unless it was a game I was really interested in or trying to, hear the story. Right on, Heat. I'm probably not going to watch the VOD because I want to hang out with the person, or see them live. There's something about the energy of knowing that they're actually, somewhere on the globe, doing their thing. It's just there's something unique about that, I think. So, shorter streams, 7 to 8:30, Tuesdays and Fridays. Do you work for yourself or do you work under a company? So if you're self-employed, you can make informative videos on YouTube, what you do, and if your patients consent to being filmed. Yeah. So actually, Kai, I am an independent contractor, so that does mean that I work for myself. I'm not technically an employee. That being said, at this point in time, I don't have plans to bring a case study onto the stream. At least not right now, or not yet. It's not that I won't, and in fact, I'm actually considering having more, what's the word, like a cross-platform. Not that I would stream to multiple different areas at the same time, but the clinic that I work at is also education-based. So we do webinars. The owner is an instructor as well, and flies coast to coast teaching classes about medical massage, orthopedic massage, and so we frequently make educational material and we do case studies, and so we're actually currently doing that. We're just not doing it available to the public yet. I would really love to see a day where that kind of information, or being able to see what you could expect in a session, would be more available to the public, so that people that are trying to understand, well, what is it that I need? What's going to help me get better or be my best self? It's easier to make that decision, because these days it feels like people don't necessarily know what options are available to them, or there are some options that are so niche it's not easy to find. And I would think it'd be really cool if one day we could have a kind of like a public forum or convention, not necessarily physically in the same space, but imagine if you could log in somewhere and listen to people like myself talk about what they do in their profession and how their profession helps. Like, this could be doctors, PTs, chiropractors, acupuncturists, I mean the gambit, naturopaths, osteopaths. Like, it'd be really neat to see more professionals talk about what they do, so that not only could someone seeking treatment see more options that are available to them and get more information more easily, so it's more accessible. They don't have to spend hundreds of dollars before it's like, oh, finally I've made an appointment with somebody that can actually help me. So I think it's really important to be able to share information that way. So anyway, I feel like I probably should have put this in the just chatting category, because I'm technically like playing this game, but I'm just doing what's easy for me to do without requiring any thought. So I think I've said my piece. Another reason I bothered to say all of this in this way is because eventually, like I said, this is going to get pushed to YouTube. So it's available for posterity's sake, or people that are interested in learning about massage therapy or medical massage, manual massage. Maybe they'll be able to find me and then be able to ask me questions about, I'm looking for a therapist here, I'm looking for a therapist there. That's what I'm all about, is helping people find the resources they need. Sometimes it's not going to be a massage therapist. I frequently refer clients to other healthcare professionals, depending on what the client tells me and what it is they're looking for. All of the professions that I named just a moment ago, the chiropractic, acupuncture, PTs, doctors, like general doctors, or telling people that, like, I actually had a client that came in for a massage with shoulder pain, and I mean, she said sharp, intense. We have a pain scale, from 1 to 10, 10 being like the most intense pain you've ever had in your life, and I think she puts a 9 or a 10. But she came in and she said, she was describing to me what happened and the kind of pain that she was having. And she said, yeah, I was moving myself in bed and I was trying to scoot up. So I had my arm, and right as I was trying to pull myself up with my arm, I heard a pop, and it hurt so much, and it still hurts. And thank you, Kai. I'll turn it down some more. What it sounded like, and it's not something that I could diagnose at that time, and even now, it was this, but it's not something I could say to the client because it's beyond my scope. Massage therapists cannot diagnose you with anything. They can recommend that you go seek treatment, but they can't say, oh, you've got bursitis, you need to, go to the doctor, or oh, you've got carpal tunnel, you need surgery. Like, that is not the place of a massage therapist ever. But what she was describing was something that I couldn't treat. There were things that I could do, but I couldn't do my usual, dig in deep and, right, it's a remedy, not a cure. So what she was describing sounded a lot like she tore something in the rotator cuff. So clearly I couldn't say, oh, it sounds like you torn your rotator cuff, you should go to the doctor for that. What it had to be was, actually we were very fortunate. There's a PT and a chiropractor that share the building with us. So we were able to go to the PT side and get the PT over who could do assessment and say, okay, yep, it seems like the labrum's torn, so here's what you can do today in your session. And I think he recommended ultrasound and just some work on the neck on specific muscles, but you know, there were things that I could do, but there was a lot of things I could not do until she sought treatment and, you know, got MRI and all the other things to, you know, have surgery and get that fixed. But after the surgery, then, you know, she can come right back, get lymphatic drainage for post-op recovery, as well as scar tissue mobilization to help reduce adhesions so that her muscles would be able to work as best as possible. So that, and that's the kind of stuff that I really love to do. Those are the kinds of things that happen from time to time where, you know, I don't want it to sound like, oh man, I love when people injure themselves because then I get to work on them. That's not at all what I mean. But to me, it feels like very meaningful work to be available to help people when the injury happens. Well, not when the injury happens, but, you know, after an injury has happened, when they're on the up and up, or they're trying to recover, or they're just trying to be, you know, their best selves. They've been losing a lot of weight from a diet plan, so they come and get lymphatic drainage to continue slimming down, to help reduce the skin, what's the word? Where the skin kind of loses the elasticity. It's not going to be perfect, but it can help to firm skin tone. So it's not quite as saggy as it would be. And, you know, sometimes you still have to get the surgery to remove all the excess skin if there's really that much, but it can just help ease that process of the body slimming down. In any case, so now I think I'll play some of the game just as it is. That's my plans for the future. That's my current schedule thought. Still playing a lot of point-and-click adventure games, or games like this where it's like a adventure RPG where there's collectibles and puzzles to solve. I'm always going to love puzzles. But we're just adding in the feature of I'm a massage therapist and I talk about what I do. So I'm not quite sure exactly what's wrong with me. What that's, you know, how it's gonna morph as it goes, but that's where I'm at, I guess. Let's see. So in this game, I'm missing one stray bead in Kamui. Oh. I am really not sure where that bead is. I might have to look it up. And then the animals, I'm missing, I think I'm just missing one dog and a cat. So, where we are, the cat is probably at Cat Call Tower. Probably. We won't know until we go. So, if anyone does have questions about any of the stuff that I just said, particularly the massage therapy or manual therapy, you know, feel free to ask. I don't believe in dumb questions, and I've seen a lot over my years as a massage therapist, so it's pretty hard to surprise me at this point. The only dumb question is the one never asked. I like it. So how are you, Kai? How's life? Didn't you move, No, you were, yeah, that's right. You're still working on trucks? So when they have little hearts like that, it means they've been fed. that one's fed. And see, the loading distance is kind of far for some of these. Oh, that one's fed. So sometimes you have to get really close before they load in, so they can be kind of easy to miss. That one's good. And I believe I climbed both of these, but I'm gonna do it again just in case. Yeah, that's fine. And this one... Oh. That one also looks like it's fine. I didn't see a cat up there. Yep. That's good. Let's climb the tower. Now, if this cat isn't along the tower, I'm really not sure where it would be, and then I would have to look into a game guide. Oh! See, had that one. I don't see... Whoa! Oh, oh. There we go. And get the cat there. Could be better. Been unemployed since September. Oh no. Had a few deaths of close friends, 2 of them self-inflicted. Oh, I'm so sorry. A weird limbo of who I am and what I want to do, but towards the final 5 months of the job, it just became an absolute dread and chore. Yep. Sometimes things come in seasons like that. Like when I first became a massage therapist, it was just so wonderful to be a massage therapist. But after a while, it had to change. But I'm very sorry. Very sorry for your loss. Don't see any cats here. I don't know if you guys can hear the neighbor upstairs. Trump, 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 trump. We came from a second floor unit though, so. Okay, there's no cat there, but what does that mean? Wanting to move, sick of the studio, might end up moving to Texas. You would absolutely be near friends you know. Because, you know, myself included, we would love to have you. If you need help in any way, you let me know. Okay, no kitty. Let's see, if there's not a cat I haven't put. Where are all the cats? I seem to recall that when I climbed this last time, like every single pedestal like that had a cat on it. Okay, and we're at the top. Kitties. Oops. Girlfriend's doing great, works at Animal Hospital. Oh, that's wonderful. The same hospitals in Texas. Wow, that's awesome. It's been an unusual, like, well, okay, I say unusual. What I mean is it's been a very transformative year and a half for so many people, just in all different kinds of ways. It's what it kind of makes me think of is almost like a phoenix rising from ashes. What I mean by that is there's been so much tumult and change, a lot of very painful and challenging times for people across the world, really. And it's been very eye-opening for a lot of people. And many have seized it as an opportunity to grow and change and define a new chapter in their life. And those that are finding ways to put meaning in what's been happening lately, if that makes sense. Because at first glance, it can seem like everything's just been absolutely scorched and burned to the ground to ash till nothing is left. But as a real life example, in Australia, those fires that ravaged and took out so much wildlife and vegetation, which is it can be so scarce there. There was a photographer that had, recently found a love of taking pictures of mushrooms and fungi, ones that would actually glow in the dark. And he really had a passion for it, and would do time lapses and find all kinds of interesting things. And he got really good at it, got pretty well known for it, and eventually he's going through this area where the fire had really, really singed the earth. And they found fungi that was growing, despite things being so thoroughly burned. This fungus was finding a way to grow. And it was, in his words, when he was talking about it in like this little documentary, he was saying how people found it as a sense of hope, that some form of life was able to spring forth from the intense destruction. And I feel like it's a parallel for what's going on in the world at this time. That for as much devastation and scorching that has happened, and just, really things that I can't quite put into words because I don't know everyone's individual experience, so it's hard for me to imagine how devastating it's been for many. But that there's still hope, that there's still, for many that have been struggling, or were not happy with their life maybe, or thought that they were, or they were just not paying attention. It's really been eye-opening for them, and it's like, okay, wait a minute, what do I really want to do with my life? Am I really, doing what I want to do? I just saw Chippy's comment. Besides Cali, Whataburger is the only reason I want to go to Texas. I want to try to see what the hype about it is. I like Whataburger. I just, there's so much more beyond the Whataburger, although I think a good parallel would be, someone wanting to go to California because they want to try In-N-Out there. That's where In-N-Out came from. Or something that Jacob really likes. So Jacob is Cedar. I think he recently changed his name to It's Beeb. That's like our mutual nickname. It's kind of embarrassing to admit, but it's just our little thing. But he's from Ohio. He's from kind of like the Ohio, Kentucky area. So they have Geta up there, and I've never heard of that. But yeah, I would hate for you to come to Texas and then get Whataburger, and you're like, you know what I mean? Cedar's doing really, really well. He started doing full-time at GameStop. I need to scroll back up. I actually stayed in Texas for a week in April, went to spend time with the mutual friend we lost. We were a trio, but now there were two, so we spent time catching up, being grateful, having a night out in Memorial. That really sounds like a special time. Never been so hyped to be in a different state. Texas was super fun. Girl, Whataburger hit different. Oh, really? We as humans are resilient, and hope can be such a powerful thing. It can literally change mental so dramatically it can affect everyday life. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's an excellent way to put it. I'm from California, and In-N-Out for me, personally, I love it. It's to the point that if my mom offered me In-N-Out and I declined, she knows I don't feel good. I like In-N-Out. Yeah, no, I didn't mean like, I was just meaning like a regionally popular or famous food, like if McDonald's was restricted to one region of, the United States, like, oh, you gotta go to New York for the McDonald's. It's so good. That's a horrible New York accent. I usually do a lot better than that. Ain't it for me? Mitsuya Izakaya? I'm not sure what that is. I think I need a new chapter. I think a lot of people do. I definitely did. Like, I've loved being a massage therapist. I've loved becoming and growing as, medical and orthopedic massage, and I've been really excited about, starting teaching and things like that. But I've struggled for many years with, how do I put this? Like, not necessarily being just a perfectionist, but just constantly feeling like I wasn't doing enough. Even if I was doing it a lot, I wasn't doing it quickly enough, or I wasn't doing it as efficiently as I should be doing it, and it was getting really, really draining. So lately I've been learning to, you know, that it's okay to take time to myself, to have time to relax, that, you know, I don't have to be doing something quote unquote productive every minute of every day. And putting boundaries on like not working on my day off. That, you know, putting in that overtime all the time is not healthy and counterproductive. So it's given me hope. It's given me hope that I don't have to work as hard as I thought I did. Itsuwa is a Japanese store that imports a lot of stuff. People don't work on their days off. Most of the time, no, Knight. Most of the time, no. Imports a lot of stuff straight from Japan. Authentic products. Izakaya is a Japanese pub. Whilst I was in Texas, I was also treated to Korean barbecue. Nice. Okay, so Mitsuwa and Izakaya, those are in DFW area? Because if so, I gotta look those up, because that sounds like something I need in my life. Oh look, there's a little owl up there. So somewhere around here is a stray bead, but I'm struggling to find it, as you can tell. Oh, there's some cranes. I don't get it from a person because the space for it in the log doesn't fit that. Lost! Thank you, Kai. I think Cedar would like that a lot too. And Korean barbecue is amazing. One of my personal favorites is dim sum. I love me some dim sum. And I think at another point in the future, when we've got things more settled in, we're still waiting on some furniture to get in. I definitely need to get a rug for the living room so that it's not so echoey. But we'll definitely give you guys a tour of the new place. We love it here. And I'll give some pointers on different massage tools that are available for people to buy and use at their house. So I want to be an informative channel, like, you know, just self-care tips that anyone can do, or that most can do. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. Yes, Mom, I'm in the new place now. Right now. Oh! Oh, man, I got so excited. I was like, it's the stray bead! That was just the last sun fragment. Yawn. That was something else. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. You're right. I completely forgot. Oh, you are coming up. Oh, good. I couldn't remember. There was so much back and forth. Mitsuya, there was a revolving sushi bar. Oh, and there's the final stray bead. Heck yeah. Well, I'll just have to have you over, Mom. Okay, so what have I got? I've got... Oops. Oh, it's so satisfying, isn't it? Revolving sushi bar. 6 a.m.? Dang. That's early. Wait. Oh, that's right. There isn't one for the sun fragments. But you can see how my health bar is like double-deckered all the way full. Pray for your phone. Yes, Mom. Well, I know this was a really short stream, but we're trying to do that now. So 90-minute streams, Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 to 8:30. You know, that might be a little bit earlier, might be a little bit later, but you know, that 90-minute window is what I'm going to stream. Talking more about medical massage therapy, or really like other therapies. I know a little bit about acupuncture, chiropractic, just general questions, you know, happy to do my best. But the new sign off that we're going to start doing, and I have lots of ideas for little changes that we're going to make, but it's going to come with time. But this is the time of day that I don my very special glasses that help me sleep at night. So this is Callie in my Callie Sleep Plus glasses that I love so much. But I'm signing off. We'll see you Friday at 7 p.m. Central. More Okami, but more like actually playing the game Okami and finishing the game, and we're gonna you'll be able to see the ending, and I'm gonna fight a bunch of bosses, and it's gonna be pretty epic. And then when we start the New Game Plus, we're gonna enjoy the story, and I'm gonna have a really cool superpower because I collected all the stray beads, and I can't wait to show you what it is. But that's gonna be Friday at 7. And other than that, you guys have a good night. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much for your patience in helping me figure out the audio issue. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Chibi, my hero. But y'all have a good night, and I will see you next time. Take a good one.